We're spinning. There we go. Hello.
No. Aladdin's not ready. Oh, are we having technical difficulties?
No, my headphones decided to turn off. I was like, I
Okay.
can see you
I think that
speaking,
comes
but I
under.
can't hear you.
I think that comes under technical difficulties.
Probably, yeah. Sorry. How are you? So that I can actually hear you.
Um, blood time. I'm tired.
As
Oh,
always, I apologise for the cats yelling because Eden has been doing it for about the last half an hour.
yeah, to be fair, I can't hear her, so
Okay.
I can't hear her. Apparently, we're going to have my door banging.
I can't hear
I
that.
decided to.
We're doing
Yeah, I
well.
decided I was too sore. I'm too sore to go sit upstairs today. So I'm sitting in my big comfy seat because today is not it.
I feel that. We will do a quick live show. Maybe it's us. We'll see. Um, I would love to say that I don't yabble as much, but it's me, and it's this series. So, we are obviously here to talk about Stormglass. Andy has another one of my editions in her hand.
I borrowed
Um,
this.
and thanks to the two different covers, Andy came up with the design because they match the two different colors that we read. Um, as always, this will be filled with spoilers. So if you have not read the first series trilogy and Stormglass, I love you for popping in, but please do not spoil yourself. Go read the book instead.
Mm-hmm.
And no spoilers for further books. A, because I can't remember what happens, but B, Andy's never read them.
So there'll be no spoilers. No, well, there technically there'll be no spoilers for future books. If I happen to hit a well-placed guess, that doesn't count. There'll
No.
be no spoilers in the sense that nothing that I don't know for a fact. If I
Yeah.
guess something, it's just a guess.
Yeah.
Um,
Pretty much the tables have turned this time because this has been me with all of the mass books. And now I get to sit where Smash normally does. But the issue is I can't remember what happens in what book. So God only knows. Vicky messaged me at one point and said something about character, and I gave her side eyes emojis, and she was like, "Oh my God, why?" And I was like, "No, genuinely, I'm wondering what happens. Like, I don't remember." I was like, "I am the worst. Like, I don't have a memory that
I forgot
keeps
about my
them."
book for a second.
Like, I don't have a good memory for shit. Like, I don't remember half the character names unless I'm talking about them. So this could be interesting. I have no notes today because I only read it this weekend, so I think I've remembered it better.
Mhm.
And we'll just see where we go. But we have a Vicky talking about her, and she turns up. Um, I mean, I don't make sense half the time, and it's me and Andy, so we don't care pretty much. So this book, how did you feel about it? Overall rating?
I I still I'm still not getting like I don't know what it is. I'm still not getting like 5 star. I think because it's fantasy, I'm still not getting the 5 star excitement from it. Like it's still I actually like this better than any book in the original trilogy. This is my favorite so far,
I love
and which is
Opal.
hilarious because I put off reading this book. I did not want to read this because I was so scared I wasn't going to like I didn't want to read about Opal. I didn't want to read Opal's perspective. I from like Opal from the other book's perspective, I wasn't interested in anything from her perspective. I didn't want to go and meet new characters. I wasn't interested in building like new relationships and new characters, anything like that. But I like this more than I like the others. I don't know if I would have felt that way if we hadn't already built up the world.
Yeah,
Like, I
because you
don't know
kind
how
of
to
already
explain
have like a
it at all.
base to go on.
Yeah, but like the character work in this, like I immediately fell in love with the characters. Like I immediately Opal's voice in this so much more like you can tell there's a time difference.
Yeah,
She's no longer as annoying as I found her in the original trilogy. So like she's matured. She still carries the trauma from what happened to her, but she's matured, and like to me that is very that's on Maria. Like she has consciously, or to me, it seems like she's consciously taken that on in Opal's characterization.
yeah.
Like
I
she
love
has
Opal. Like Opal
actually
as
built that into her character. Like Opal has very quickly become one of my favorite. Like whereas Yelena annoyed me in how immature she could be and how
yeah,
naive she could be. Opal matured through what happened to her. Like even down to like when they go back to Burubi and she goes back into the glass factory and the changes they've made to like Mara, for example, no longer stays there at night on her own, even though
yeah,
the threat has passed. Like and even now, like they're very conscious of it and they don't like the maturity in the writing. I noticed the difference in Maria's writing. I noticed the difference in her characterization. I noticed the difference in Opal's character. Like, she's just not annoying. Like, I feel like she's the same age as Yelena when Yelena was in the first book. Or the
she I think she'd be about a year older than the first book. She's because it's a 5 year, like 4.5, 5 year gap.
yeah. Like
Um,
to me, Opal is so she just reads so mature and not mature in a way of like I don't know how to describe it, but like she feels well rounded in the way she's written. Like she just feels so well rounded.
yeah, I feel like I love Ilana, right? I will die for this series. We all know it. But I feel like with it being Maria's first book and with Helena being her first like protagonist, there's
Hmm.
always that little bit of Mary suing. Like she's that bit better than everyone else and like everybody like falls in around it. But because she had Opal as a side character and then took her, she had to figure out how to grow this person. And I feel like
Mm.
that helped. I love this book. Like I still gave it 5 stars. I didn't change my rating from the first time I read it. Um, I think it was a little bit slower for me to read this time than last time, but that's more because I've been struggling with my eyeballs. Um, but
Do
I
you know one of the things I loved? I love that she maintained the character of the Sandseed horses without anybody being able to actively communicate with them.
yeah,
That's well done.
I gave it a 4.25. I didn't connect with the characters as much as the first trilogy. This makes me
That's so
sad.
funny.
Um,
That's the
I
total
know that
opposite of.
I don't know if Becca's free or if she's coming in, but I know that she loved this one. She liked it more
Mm,
than the study series, and she's a bit nervous now because obviously she loved the first one. She loved Poison Study, and then it kind of went a bit downhill for her. So we'll see how it goes for all of us as we keep reading.
mhm.
Um, I love the Dance clan. It's one of my favorite clans. And I obviously I didn't. I could have said which clan I loved, but then it would have led you to know that there was something coming up about which clan, and I didn't want to like lead into anything, so I just didn't really mention it. But storm dancing, if I hadn't been at Hogwarts, storm dancing would have been where I wanted to be as like at the late teens, and I still would. I still would love to have the ability to siphon like the power of storms. But I love how, or at least one of my favorite things in this book, and I picked up on it more, I think, this time, is the analogies they use. So, like, Cade and the Storm Dancers will talk about things in weather analogy. And, like,
Mhm.
Opal will talk about them in glass analogies, and like they clash, or they kind of slowly like learn how to like merge and have like a conversation. Maria's a trained meteorologist. It's what she did at uni. Like weather is her thing. One of her first books she wrote was a book called Stormwatcher, which is again pulled heavily on that. And I just love how she managed to pool her own knowledge, and then she went and did glass lessons. And like, I think you can tell. Like, okay, I don't have a Scooby what half the shit is, but like, I could use the name in that book and look it up and figure it out. Which
Yeah,
for me, like, it wasn't in too much detail that I was bored because it didn't feel like a
yeah.
step by step instruction.
It was enough, but yeah, it was enough to make it. It was enough to legitimize it, but not enough to be like, right, okay, like, can we move on?
Yeah. And I think that's so hard. Like, I know she did a live in the middle of the pandemic because we started to talk about them. And one of the questions that we asked her was, what weapons do you have at home? And like, she has sais and swords and like a bow. And she has like, she literally stands and like practices in her study so that she knows what she's writing. Don't know how I couldn't imagine it. Like, I can't picture a fight because I can't do it. But she does have proper size, and she's like, and you sit there, and she's like, I would sit for like half an hour trying to figure out how this thing like works and how I'd have to get out of clothes. And I'm like, it's so clever. Like, my brain just
Yeah,
does not have this level of detail or the want to. um Really interested to know what Andy thinks of Ulrich.
which one? I knew.
So
I knew the minute something changed. I
yeah,
knew. I knew it.
i
I knew the second I was like, you idiot.
I don't think I picked
You
up on it last
idiot.
time, but this time, as soon as he changed, I knew. So let's go with Blue Eyes
Can,
slash Devon,
mm,
who's at the start of the book.
can we
Devlin, sorry.
can we
And then we've got Ulrich, and then we've got the Soul Switch. So
do we
going with,
we want to try and do this kind of
do we want to do
how
it
do we want to do
character
this? Like,
based, like go through characters and then story, or do like plot line? Because either way,
I don't know
Devlin is
because I've got so
Blue
many thoughts.
Eyes.
Like
Devlin
there's
is quite early on because obviously he is when they are literally going from the Citadel to the coast.
because there's like plot, like my brain wants to do like plot as well as characters
Go
because
on
like
then.
the plot to me, the thing that really sticks out about the plot is the plot followed the study. I don't know. I can't think of it if it followed the study trilogy. Well, to be fair, I feel like, and don't hate me for this, but I feel like the study trilogy was a rinse and repeat quite a lot. It was
Yeah.
Yelena does this, Yelena gets captured, Valak saves Yelena. Rinse and repeat throughout the series, right? That was a
Or
lot of
Leaf.
what
Come
happened.
on now. Leaf, Ari, and Janko
Or
helped.
somebody,
Somebody
Yelena,
saved
Yelena
Yelena.
tries to do something, Yelena gets knocked out and
Yelena
captured.
doesn't learn and
Yelena,
talk to people.
yeah, that's kind of like, and I feel like this arced in a similar way because in so much, and I don't know if it's because they were in the Citadel, but it reminds me so much of Fire Study at the start of I don't know if it's the end of Magic Study or the start of Fire Study, but there's a bit at the start of this. It reminded me so much when they're sending her to the Stormdance clan, and when Yelena goes initially to the Sand Seeds, and then when she meets not when she meets Fisk, but then when she goes back out to see him and he started up the guild,
I love the guild. Sorry. Side.
that to me was almost mirrored in the way that Opal goes to Fisk after they come back.
Yeah, I think it was on purpose though, because it was such a
Yeah,
good way of A, getting her information, but also showing how much Fisk has changed and grown. Because
but also,
Fisk
who
now
was it? It
is,
was Ulrich. It was Ulrich that was with her, wasn't it?
yeah, and he was an asshole.
And he acted so much like what's his dickhead.
Cahill?
Um, yeah, so much like Cahill did with younger Fisk. Like the parallels were so spooky. like I could almost see the scenes like overlaying themselves. But Fisk went from being like cheeky young boy to being like self-assured teenager, and I
And
was so proud of him.
businessman. Like, he has
Yeah,
taken his whole family out of like poverty, has helped
and he lost
countless of
that.
kids, and I'm just like, if I could be proud of a kid in a book, it would be
Hmm.
Fisk.
But
Like,
it almost like it's funny because it almost like so like that it kind of mirrored like Yelena going to the Sand Seeds, Opal going to the Stormdance clan, coming back, going to Fisk, all the nonsense that happened in the the marketplace and stuff like that.
yeah,
The parallel timeline, not timeline, parallel plot kind of, and it worked a bit. And like, you know how with Yelena trying to find Ferdy, and with Fisk's help, and then with Opal trying to find the jewels with
yeah.
Fisk's help, it kind of like it's so like the plot mirrored, but not in a way that was like, oh, we're just repeating it, but it mirrored in a way of like,
Look how much
I
these
don't know,
guys have grown, or at
it
least that's how I
worked
found it.
so
But
well. It just it worked, but I can't work out how to explain it. But it showed such, there's something about the arc just worked so well to show both the maturity difference in Opal and Maria's writing. Like, Opal went away, like she was being bullied. Didn't have any. She didn't have any sort of belief in herself, even down to the fact that Yelena was put with Iris, and then Opal's put with Zatoria, who is
I
more junior
love,
than Iris.
I love Zatora. She's so cute.
Like everybody, like Opal and Zatoria are there. This is like they are sent basically out there to kind of prove themselves,
Yeah,
and
I feel like,
it's almost like nobody believes that they can do this,
yeah,
and but they're sent to this thing, that they're sent to help the Stormdance clan, and the Stormdance clan like desperately need this help. And it's so funny because Opal goes from like, I don't think I can do this, to then when somebody questions her ability with glass, and she's like, you can question my ability with magic, but you come at me about glass and we're gonna have an issue.
I
Like
love, I think
she
one,
knows.
there's one bit when they're literally, obviously they've just met her and they've like, she's like, oh my god, how the fuck high am I? Like, I can't cope with the top of this. And then it's just literally like, now also, for those of you that follow me on Finch, this is where I got the name Quartz from. Just putting it out there, Stanseed Horse was where I came from. Messaged Vicky and I was like, now you'll know where I got Quartz from. Um, and just the fact that she's like, just look at the horse, don't look down, and it's just like, no. But I love that as soon as they get there, as you say, it's very much like, who the hell is this young girl to help us? Like, she's not from our clan,
Mhm.
she doesn't know anything. And then they literally start like being arsy and smarmy, and then she literally picks up their thing and she's like, yeah, so this is your percentages, and they're just like, who the fuck told you? Because obviously she's like, I'm not like 100% sure, but it's roughly this. And then obviously she looks at like the old globes versus the new ones, orbs rather, like trying to
She's like,
break down.
hmm, and they're like,
I love it. Like, we all know, even in real life, that some families go into an industry and they stay there. Like, my mum was in hospitality. I tried to leave it and I've gone back. Like, couldn't have followed my dad. I could not have been a postie, but like, I followed my mum. But my mum, like, to trade is actually a chef, but like, she fell into hospitality and then just kind of stayed there. But like, I love the whole idea of, I know that I'm kind of skipping, but the whole thing of the family all knowing glass, which you kind of find in Barubi. So obviously, again, skipping, but the fact that their dad knows it, their siblings know it, Ulrich's siblings all know it, like the fact that they all have such an upbringing in this thing, that then even at 19, she's like, no, 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 you can question my magic, I will give you that, but me and glass, oh no, 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 no. I know. Like, I was making glass, I think at one point they said that her first paperweight was before she could walk. Like, you don't, at that point when you've been doing it for that long, you know what you're doing. I just love it. I love her.
And then, yeah, like, I knew.
I don't think
I mean,
Maria
to be
was
fair,
being
also,
subtle, to be fair, that Ulrich had changed.
yeah. The thing with the orb, is it Kaya? Her name, the sister, Cade's sister, Kaya.
Yeah.
I was like, the minute he said, like, he told her how she died, I was like, I knew exactly where that was going.
I
We just needed the confirmation.
yeah, I
But
don't
yeah,
think I
like,
picked up on that last time. Like not straight away, but this time I was like, oh, yeah, she died in a storm. He was dancing and said storm. I know where that's going. But again, I mean, we're saying I read this. I think I read this book about 13 years ago and I haven't read it. So the fact that I didn't
but
remember it was quite nice.
reading it directly after Fire Study probably helps because Yelena is a soul finder. Like she has the ability to pull souls,
Yeah. And
but
they've just done it
she
together
needed,
into glass.
yeah, which meant that Opal has the ability to do something with souls as long as there's like something like a vessel there. So like
Yeah.
Yelena put the soul in, like as long as the soul was intermingled with her magic, she could blow it into the glass.
Yeah.
So of course, as her soul was leaving, it got caught up in his in the
Storm,
storm
which is
power,
exactly what he
which then
does.
sucked it into the glass, which makes it so interesting for like the potential for the soul, like with the
Yeah.
magic and everything. So, because like you said, the souls of magicians make up the blanket.
And
So
it's
the
like I
souls are pure
love
magic.
I literally love that whole thing of when magicians die, their magic gets incorporated for like newer generations to use it. Like it's genuinely like when you lose your parents and your grandparents, you don't lose them. Their magic is still part of you and what you can do. And I know like their actual like specific powers will disappear, but it still makes the blanket
Yeah.
that everybody can use. And I love that. Like I don't think I've seen a magic system like that
But this just
anywhere.
shows, but the fact that she's been able to, the fact that it ties in with being able, like with Opal being able to blow it into the glass and Cage being able to accidentally pull it into these orbs, shows that it's something that Maria's thought about as well. Like there's a whole backstory there. There's a whole like,
Yeah. Um what I was gonna say, and then I'll pull up Vicky's comment. Um I think this is also partly like you were saying that they have something to prove, Zatora and Opal. I kind of feel like this is Maria proving that she can write something that isn't her first trilogy. Like I know
mm,
it's still in the same series, but she's still giving us completely different things, like expanding on a universe that we love. Um, I'm trying to think date wise. I don't think she, or maybe she wrote Inside Out actually before this. Hold on.
I mean, this one's
No,
signed
no,
2015.
literally, this is book number 4.
Yeah.
Unless you have something else in your one.
No.
Yeah, this was published 2009. Oh,
Yeah.
it's got the old map in it. Cute. I love this version. Like, it is ridiculously floppy. Right, Vicky's comment. I love seeing Fist doing so well and growing up. Ulrich just reminds me of Cahill, and I hate him. I hate him, not hate him. Maybe that's why I didn't like this book as much, to be honest. Opal is too good for him. I think
But
Ulrich has so much of that sibling rivalry that Opal doesn't have. Like they don't have that same clash, which is interesting on paper, but also I can't see it actually. Well, I genuinely can't remember what happens. So I genuinely
I felt so.
I don't like him for her, but I can't remember what
Vicky's
happens.
dragging us into talking about characters. We'll go back to the plot in a minute then, fine. I so Ulrich, right, the minute we met Cade and he came in being all moody and grumpy and like I was like,
Grumpy Sunshine.
there we go. Like I knew. I was like, you too. Like, yes. And then Ulrich turned up and I was like, who the fuck are you? No. Get away with your childhood friends to lovers nonsense. I don't like that. And like while I appreciated, like, do you know what? Do you know what? The thing is, what made it even worse is that when her and Kate had the whole conversation that, like, you live over here, I live over there, like, this
Long
isn't
distance
gonna
don't
work. And he
work.
was and he was so mature about it. He was just like, you deserve better. I'm not gonna be able to give you a full commitment, and I feel like that's unfair to you. So I'm gonna be honest with you, and and back in 2009, who wrote male characters like that? Normally they'd be stroppy little Adams.
Like Ulrich.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. Ulrich, I feel like Ulrich at first wasn't.
Oh, he
I
wasn't.
don't know, because he
To be
was.
fair, I think it was Devlin trying to keep her like on
Yeah,
track,
I liked
not
I
actually.
liked Ulrich at first. Like, he was genuinely nice. Like, when she meets him back at the keep, and he's like, he's sitting with all these people, and she's like, oh, right, okay, like, he's not going to be interested in talking to me because he's got all these friends. And he immediately, like, walks away from them, and he's like, hey, where are you going? But
Yeah.
the thing is, she's like, oh, well, they don't like me, so, like, you're going to want to hang out with them and not hang out with me. And he's like, well, no, like, I've known you for years, I've just met them, of course I'm going to come with you and not hang out with them. And I was like, you know what, that's just won me over to you, Ulrich. Well done. Like, because she's right. Most people would have gone with the popular kids and not, like,
Especially
I
there's a bit
appreciate
where
the fact.
Pazia meets them, and Pazia's like, "Come on, you don't want to be with a shit like the lowest class or the worst magician or something." I can't remember what insult it is. And he's like, "No, fuck you." Like,
Yeah,
because to him, like, I know
she
that.
deserved what she got.
I
She
don't think
deserved
she
that.
deserved to lose all of her magic because she threw it at her. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the consequence of it. Like, I love that for once somebody trying to
She
do
needed to
their
be
worst
taken down a few
actually.
pegs.
Yeah, but I don't know if she deserved to lose all of her magic, is what I mean. But like, I do love that she went in for everything and didn't hold back and actually had that retaliation. Like, again, back in '09, when did you see that? That wasn't like, oh, let's just beat up the shit for whatever reason. Like, it was always just a shit fight. But this was actually okay. Let's go test something. And then she didn't want to lose, so she just kept pushing. And Yelena, Opal kept going, and then suddenly the pair of them were like, oh fuck. But the fact that also she picked like green blade bees, which are known to be poisonous, is also like, you're just a bitch.
And it also saved their asses.
I know. How could right, so magically turning, what's the word? Not visions.
Illusions.
I was about to say hallucinations. Illusions are better. So magically turning illusions and grabbing somebody's magic because she thinks it's real and crystallizing it in glass to later be used as like ammunition. I don't know where the fuck Maria thinks this shit up. I honestly don't. Like the fact
I
that she
wonder
now
though
has,
if once she's used them all, it'll return the magic.
I don't know. I genuinely, like, I said it to Vicky. I was like, I can't remember, and I think Vicky thinks I'm lying. I genuinely don't. It's been that long.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
But yeah, like, because I did like Ulrich at first. Like, well, I do like Ulrich, and I knew the second he changed that it wasn't
yeah.
him, and I was
So,
like, girl, no,
there's
don't do it.
so there's two things on the back of that. One, we find out about Devlin. Devlin.
Devlin.
Sure, it's Devlin with an L.
Mm.
And the fact that he was the
But
one who worked with Aaliyah in the first book, in the last book, to torture her.
But
which is
do we
not very nice.
believe that, by the way, that was probably worse than, but like that, I don't know if that was worse than Faraday.
The pressure
I
points,
genuinely can't decide which is worse.
to me, yeah, I don't know either, but the pressure points are fucking horrible because I know that they work. Because obviously you end up like pressing them and you're like, ah, yeah, fucker. Like if it hurts that much, um, yeah. Um, but then we find out that he doesn't actually like causing pain. He just needs to use it to get a job done. And I'm like, how much is money worth?
I Yeah, but like so, and the thing is, obviously we'll probably find out in the next book. Well, I don't know if we find it in the next book. Well, hopefully we find out at one point whether or not he's telling the truth about Ulrich, like whether he did it willingly or not. Because
Personally,
there
I
was also a little part of me that was kind of glad because I'm very much on the I'm very much on like Team Cade for this one. Like I
I
want her to end up with Cade.
yeah, I'm definitely not on Team Ulrich, that's for sure. Um, I can't remember, and I don't want to say what I think in case it is actually me remembering.
Because like this is the thing, and I think this is why Vicky doesn't like Ulrich in a way, and I see what she means about Cahill. Like Cade is very much in a similar way to Valak, and it reminds me of Fourth Wing in a way, in a similar vein. Ulrich is like the homegrown, like I say, childhood friends to lovers thing, where he wants Opal to be the Opal he remembers, and he wants to like tamp her down or keep her where she is,
Yeah,
and he wants her to be soft and malleable, and he wants her to be sweet, and he wants her to be
doesn't want
like,
her to outshine him because he already has that with his sisters and his siblings, and his mum doesn't
yeah.
like him. And
Whereas Cade wants her to be, to use his type of analogy, he wants her to be wild like a storm. He wants her to be powerful and unstoppable, and like he wants her to be incredible. Like he wants her to shine like she deserves to. You know, he wants her to have that. I don't know. I think Ulrich might just be pathetic little victim, not a victim, but like
I think it
a
depends.
victim in
And
the
I
sense of being like, oh, poor me, like I was always second best to my sisters, and now I'm being second best to you know, that kind of nice
yeah,
guy mentality. I wouldn't call that a villain because villains, like Devlin's a villain because he's actively evil. Ulrich, I wouldn't call a villain because he's just kind of pathetic.
do either of you? I don't think there's anyone else in the comments. It does say someone else is watching, but I don't know who because no one's commented. Do either of you think Ulrich has already had blood magic performed on him? Do you think when we get back to him that he is going to be the Ulrich that we saw before he was soul switched?
I think he
And
would have had to use blood magic to soul swap. So, but I
potentially,
think they're going to, because they've got what's his Devlin, haven't they? So they're going to need Yelena to switch them back.
yeah. But talking about Yelena, we have Ari and Janko in full undercover.
See, when she was like, that's why he's wearing that beanie. Because he needs to cover his ear. And I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh, wait a minute. I remembered the nickname, but I didn't remember where it came in. I remembered the Yanis part, but I couldn't remember how we got to Yanis. Um,
I actually had to go back because I was like, I've missed something. I've missed something.
I think he has. Yeah, I
I don't,
think
yeah, I don't
I
feel like it's going to
genuinely
be
can't remember.
significant.
Um, but yeah, we obviously end up coming away from Barubi. We end up leaving the castle and the
Like,
citadel,
I feel like
etc.
her
behind.
dad is going to be more significant as well.
I love her dad. Can we just give
Mhm.
like 2 minutes for like how good the dads are in the series? Like, I love them so
Can we
much.
appreciate the dog that found her in the woods and was like, I help?
And the little family that are just like, yeah, we will find you help. Like, and then we'll send them off in the right direction. And the fact that they made a kiln, sorry, I still can't get over it. I love Ulrich's comment. Like, Ulrich doesn't always rub me the right way, but I loved his comment about the fact that being so shocked that they'd made like a glass workshop out of wood, and him just being like, what? But yeah, I love that she managed to like use the annealing. It was like the rod thing, I think, as a weapon, and just managed to like set people on fire and set like shit. I loved it. It was so good.
If somebody doesn't teach that girl how to use a bow, after
She's got her
that.
size. She's got her size, which is one of my favorite pieces of weaponry that anybody in this series uses. And I was waiting for you to find it, and you even messaged me, "Excuse me, excuse you." I didn't want to wait. I didn't want to spoil the surprise. Sorry.
I love Sai.
They're not on the cover of the books that you've got.
No, she's got a staff and
Oh yeah, weird. Maybe it's one of the other other covers I've got downstairs.
also something that I think I'm jumping off topic,
We
but
all are.
it's
It's fine.
also Sai. Sai is the plural. There's no S at the end, which prompts me
Really?
to know friggin' end in the book. Yeah, that's what I told. That's why that's what I said to you. I was like, they've misspelled it again in the book.
Size. Scottish Avalanche Information Service. That's not what I'm looking for. Half of them have size with an S and half of them don't. So nobody knows how to spell it. This is helpful. This is helpful. Wikipedia says Scytho. Yeah, that's really not helpful when you're doing research and they both come up though.
Because they always come in a pair. They're always supposed to be in a pair anyway. But Sai is the plural.
So what do you say if it's just one?
It would still be Sai.
Or is it like sheep and sheep?
It's like sheep, yeah. It's like
Okay.
sheep and fish. It's just Sai.
Because there
But
is no morphological plural in Japanese, the word sai refers to either a single weapon or multiple.
yeah.
There you
I
go.
love Sai.
So does Vicky, and so do I. But I did not know that. But again, it's probably like Bo, nobody told her back then and she's figured it out. I don't know if any of the newer versions have it edited. Unsure. Maybe it'll be fixed in the next printing.
But Sai are an excellent again, Sai was an excellent choice of weapon for the character as well, because they're not an offensive weapon. They're very
Yeah.
much a defensive weapon.
And I don't picture Opal being a fighter as much.
No.
Didn't think we'd be comparing side to sheep tonight. Well, the analogy worked.
Yeah.
It worked. I wondered. No, I wondered. That's not the right way to start that sentence. Did you pick up on MD1 being where Valak's family is from? So we get told in this book that MD1 used to be Icefaren, which is Valak's last name. And it's why he always complains about the cold and doesn't find the castle and the citadel cold, because he's normally from up here and he's down here. It's just a little nugget.
I did not know.
Yeah, there you go.
Isn't that where the commander?
I think he was in MD2.
I thought
Yeah,
that was where the
so
commander killed, or the
like
commanders.
I think the commander was like up in this bit of MD2, but he
Yeah.
was in MD1 up here. But yeah, it's pretty much all
I
the
can't.
same ice
Was
sheet.
it the commander or the commander's mother that killed the cat
The commander.
barehanded? Yeah. See, when they met I and Janko, I was like, cool, we're good, we're good, 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 good. But
I love
I
them.
see one of the things I love about Opal is, and I think she's definitely. I think again, it's something that it's shown the growth of our character. She has been put through so much previously that in her present, she's like, because you see it when Cade is trapped under the
Net
null
thing.
shield net.
Null shield net, yeah. Because they've woven
Yeah,
the null shield into the net.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she's working on getting them out, and he's like, no, we can't. Like, they'll just hurt you. And she's like, do you know what? Been through worse. She's like, worst they could do is kill me. It's fine. She's just like, and they're probably not going to kill me. It's fine. Like, because of all the torture that she went through at what's his face is I've forgotten his name
Devlin.
again. Devlin's hands during the study trilogy. Because of that, like even when he tortures her, and it
She doesn't
turns
give
out
in
like,
straight
and she
away.
tells him, she lies in this book. Like even when he thinks she's told him the truth, she's actually lied to him.
Yeah.
Like she can,
Still
like
consciously formed thought. Like, I love that.
she has gone through.
I don't know if that's the right word, but there's a
Yeah,
bit that always sticks out to me when they're in that cabin at Icefahren. And he's like, nobody else has made me work for it as hard as you. I'm sure it's like everybody else like normally breaks super quickly, but
mhm,
she thought she was giving in super quickly after like one or two or three goes, and he's like, no, like you are way stronger than you think you are. And then it was after that that she was like, right, actually, fuck you, man, let's go. We're getting out of here. And I do
mhm.
love that Ari obviously Janko starts fighting, and you can like hear him like going off in the corridor, but you can't see him. And then suddenly they're all like caught again, and she's like, that didn't work. I just love that, like they still have thoughts, and then she's like, right, so that didn't work, but we still have other options. Like we still have a storm outside. We still have Kaya's like glass. We've got options. It's fine. And I'm like, how do you keep going? But you can tell that she's been through shit. Like the fact that she still has the ability to put one foot in front of the other, um, astounds me. In this one, we obviously see that they've put up the grief flag that we saw Yelena and Iris make for. It's not Mara, the
Tula.
other sister, Tula. And obviously, when she first goes home in this, you see that it's still up. And then when she goes back again after she's been with the Storm Dancers, you see that her mum has kind of. I don't know if she's pulled herself together enough to move on, or if she's thought it's time because it's been about 5 years by this point. But the
Yeah.
fact that she's like, we need a spare room. We're hoping Leaf will be around. Like Mara might need to be here. You're taking like Zatora. We need to have a place. Like there's people. It's such a mum thing in this book to want to feed people.
Do you know what I find absolutely hilarious about it as well? Is the fact that when she goes back the first time, she's like, "Oh my God, my mum's still got the flag up. She really needs to get over. Not like she needs to get over it, but she really needs to move on. Like, like she's so harsh in her own thoughts about her mum and about the sorry, the machine's gone into this then. She's quite harsh about the fact that her mum's still got the flag up.
Yeah.
And yet when she goes in and the flag's down, it
She
completely stops her in
break.
her tracks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you're the one that said you had to take it down.
Um, I think it's definitely one of those things that happens in real life though. You think you're past something and then something will catch you unawares and you'll
Yeah.
just be like caught off guard. The pair of us both know exactly what that is, so we're not saying any further than that. Otherwise, we'll start crying.
I'm still mad at Leaf though.
For which bit this time?
I just don't. I refuse to. I'm refusing to like him.
But he's so good for Mara.
See when Yelena made him go down down into the water. That is. I'm expecting the whole orb thing to be the orb.
The
Orb.
warper prisons.
Yeah, that's going to be. And again, like, I'm just so shocked. Not shocked, but like, shocked is kind of, yeah. The fact that Opal immediately was like, these things are calling to me. I need to be taken out before I can become a danger. Like, she immediately was just like, nope, just get me out of here. Like, take me out. Just kill me. Just get me out. Like, I can't be trusted. And Yelena was
And
like, but you stopped yourself. And she was like, but what if I don't next time? And Yelena's like, that's a bit drastic.
I do love though that like I remember last time specifically not having a Scooby that's what the dreams were about. Like in my head, I was like, "What the fuck? Like, is this an Ulrich thing? Is she just like, what is going on? Is this about Cade?" And it took me a while, like as she was getting closer to the cave, for me to be like, "Oh wait, okay, right." Or putting two and two together. But the fact that
Also,
like she was
Twilight,
then,
why are you putting in an actively being mind cave?
I'm assuming it
What?
wasn't being actively mined, but that's two. Unless they other guys like the diamonds were just a roundabout way of trying to find the prisons. But it seems really weird that they managed to find like the crystal exactly where he planted them. So
Yeah, maybe they're
unsure.
calling out to other people as well.
And he's never gonna forgive
Never,
Leaf.
no.
I love Leaf. Um but um like diving into water doesn't bother me. Like out of you, me, and Vicky, I think water bothers me the least. But diving down that far under somewhere I don't know to go somewhere that I can't see is a completely different kettle of fish. Like,
I love how he's like, why do I need to go? And she's like, holding up the sticks, like, can't light fire. Hello.
but I always find it
I love the fact
hilarious.
that she could also have just made him go with her, like,
Yeah, with their power.
get in the
Um,
water.
I do find it hilarious though, and I love. I don't know if Maria meant it or not, but I love that every time Opal tried to like compare her own magic. She was always like, I can't even do fire, I can't do like this, that, or the next thing. And then in that scenario, you see Yelena, who's one of the most powerful soul finders, or like only soul finder that's there, also being like, bitch, I can't light fire, like full on to her brother, like, dude. And I just love that every now and then I think Opal gets too much in her own head. Like she compares herself to the people around her. Um, and we obviously see a bit more of that when she comes back and speaks to Pazia. Um, I find Pazia really interesting because as one of the daughters of somebody who's like the most powerful man, you're gonna have an attitude on you. Like you can't point out somebody that's that rich to me and
She a
not
rich
tell me
bitch.
that you're not going to have an attitude of some equivalent. But the fact that Opal has thought they've all been shunning her for 4 years, where everybody else has been thinking that she's been shunning them, is so funny to my brain. Because if you're that far in your own head, after like the first few months, you're gonna think it's like set in stone, and you're not gonna try and change it come like year 4. So the fact that she's like, yeah, it was kind of me. I kind of made you fuck up all that shit was me, and she was just like, I thought it was me. I like them. I can't remember if they become friends or if we even see Padley again. Genuinely can't remember.
I don't know. I kind of hope so. It's funny because even though she was so mean, she to me is more redeemable than Leaf. Like, she was just a mean girl whose feelings were obviously hurt, and she was lashing out because her feelings were hurt. She didn't actively try and get anybody killed like Leaf.
Excuse me, she just used green blade bees to try and kill Opal.
They were an illusion.
Not to
And she knew
Opal.
that she was going to be able to turn them into glass.
Fair.
And they had a healer station right there.
Good with me. I was panicking. Yeah. As I say,
I
I'm
didn't know what green
good with
blade
water.
keys were, so I didn't care. I knew they were an illusion, and I trusted Pazia would be able to control them.
Oh no, we mean the water. I think this is the diving into the
Oh
water.
yeah. Like I was like, see when she was like hovering in the water, like, am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be able to? I'm just go, just get. Like, don't.
You're
This
freaking
is not the
yourself
place to
out.
pause and have a thought. Like, if you're going to stop and wait, this is not the place to do it. Do
Yeah.
it somewhere you've got air. Also, in a position like Kate was like, "Shall I make you a bubble?" And I'm like, "Yes." And Yelena's like, "Nah." And I'm like,
Nah.
"This is why I like Cade. Cade thinks things through. Like, and even when
Yelena
this is
still
why I like
doesn't.
Cade. Even when see, this is the thing, right? Cade does not like Opal when she turns up. He does not want her there. He does not want her there. He is mad. He is pissy. He is just as arsey as Leaf. And yet, when she gets her ass yeeted into that water, he still makes her a bubble. He glinders that bitch out of the water and saves her ass
I love
because
that description.
he is a good guy. He is nice. He is noble, and he is actually nice. Leaf would have just been like, "Oh, where did she go? Oh, look, there she
He
is.
also wouldn't
Oh,
have
she's
had the
there."
power to have got him out of that anyway. Like, we're not really
No,
giving
but if he
Leaf
did,
credit. Eh,
if he did,
unless there was food involved. Food can get him to do anything, same as Janko.
Janko would have jumped in the water after her,
Definitely. 100%.
regardless how stupid it would have been. And Ari would have been like,
Now I've got to
"Can
save you
somebody
both.
please?"
Now I've got to save you both. How was this
Like,
helpful?
while tying a rope round his waist, just like
um,
handing it to, "Can you hold that, please?" And Valak's just there, like, "Why?"
oh, love them. Brain's trying to go
So
through
much
the
happens
plot.
in this book.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what else. So we know that Ulrich has a mum who isn't impressed with his glasswork. He has his own special sand mix that he uses.
Yeah, what's with the if Ulrich disappear? Like, Ulrich needs to come back because I need to understand what the poppin's about and the emotion things about. I need to understand what's going on with that.
Yeah, so let me see if I can find a picture of what I pictured it to be like. I don't know if I'll manage.
Also, the one thing I would like for the characters to stop doing is having this one character that goes off and has just been like, just that's the one character that begins with a T usually, and they're like, ah, just let him go, he'll calm down. And it's like, no, he's going to betray you and end up with people dying, and it's going to be your fault for letting him go. And oh look,
Cal is an asshole.
just throw him in the water, just chuck him out. And now their glassmakers are all dead. Like, congratulations. Which to me means that, like, does that mean that she's going to have to go back and stay and help them, and then she'll get to spend time with Cade? And then,
Potentially.
like, how do they have more storm dancers? Like, what's going to happen? Because they
Yeah,
need
they
storm
only have
dancers.
a few that come to the coast. Especially this
Did
time.
he
They
end
said
up?
they only had
I
a
can't
few.
remember if he ended up releasing Kaya
Yes.
in the end.
Yes, they did.
So does he? Will his power now diminish? Because it seemed like he took on her abilities. Because they said when she died, his powers doubled, which to me meant that he took on her abilities when she died.
Yeah, I think he's still got the power because she has just been released, but this is the closest thing I can find that I was thinking of. Like, see how it's kind of marred because of the bubbles?
Yeah, no, I know what it looks like. But
Well,
like,
I don't have a picture in my brain, so this is what I picture.
yeah, no, like I have an idea of what it looks like, but like,
And
what does
then
it
I
mean?
think it's a case of kind of, you know how Leaf can smell like emotions and shit on someone. I
Huh.
think his is like an amplifier for how someone's feeling. I think that's how I picked up on reread anyway, because obviously I had forgotten a lot.
Hmm.
Um,
But why
but I
can she
think
feel it popping and nobody else can?
because that's her glass magic. I think the song and the feelings part is his, and then she has the feeling and all the stuff to do with glass. I think. I cannot, for the life of me, remember what happens
But at
going
the
on.
same time, like she doesn't just Maria doesn't just throw stuff in there for no reason. Like she didn't just have Yelena look at Opal's glass and be like, "Oh, I see a glow in there," and move on. Like there was a whole reason for it. So
Yeah,
like, I want to know.
I'm assuming it's in there. I've just forgotten. Being
Yeah,
honest.
like these are my
Um,
questions going forward. Like, what is this all about? And then what? Like, I'm now wondering why Devlin. Why is she calling him Blue Eyes? Like, I understand why she's calling him Blue Eyes, but like, is there now a significance to why he's got blue eyes?
Possibly, or is the name Devlin now significant that he's not got a nickname?
Mm. But like, because like, are blue eyes not common in?
I think it's an. Well, I know that the further north you go, the paler skin, same as normal, like darker
Yeah.
skins. So maybe blonde, Aryan, blonde hair, blue eyes is pale skin is more MD1, MD2, MD3. I don't know because they said before the commander came along, everybody could travel anywhere.
Mm.
It was why you ended up with a
Yeah.
lot of
Sorry.
people stuck in the wrong part
Plot.
of the
Also, obviously, Yelena and Iris are protecting the what's her face person.
what's her face person.
Yeah, the diamonds lady.
The sister?
Yeah,
Um, fuck's sake.
counselor. So
Oh
yeah, so
wait, you're
plot
not
wise, they
speaking
go
about the
to.
same person as I am. That's not the sister. It is the sister, but not the sister I was on about. The sister. You mean Counselor Joe Rose? Counselor Joe Rose? One moment, please. Or was it the Moon Clan?
I think it's the Moon
Moon
Clan.
Clan, yeah, because they were up north, not down south. Yeah, so the Moon Clan sister was the one who was trying to have her sister take over the throne. Yeah, because Pazia's family are like in these mountain ranges, like they're all the way over.
Hmm. I really hope we go back to the storm. Like, I really hope we go back to the storm. Now, what's the next one called? Sea Glass.
Yeah.
So does that mean we go back to the storm dancers because obviously the sea is by the cliffs, and but
Well, we've
then
got three
the storm
different
dance clan. Mm,
Joe Roses and Blood Moon. Is that right?
Bloodgood,
Bloodgood and Crystal.
Crystal, storm dance, Bloodgood, and Joe Rose.
I love how Barubi's like right there. Like it's like
I was so happy when they got a chance to go over the plains, and Leaf was like,
you'll find out.
"Don't you worry."
I just love how he was like, but this is a longer way, and he was like, no, no, no,
It
no,
was
no,
like, "So
no.
what do we do?" It's like, just hold on and give them their head. Like just let them just hang
I
on.
love how they
No, what
both
do you
were
mean
then
just hang
like,
on?
I love how they were also like, oh my god, we're being watched. this isn't right. We need to leave. And he's like, oh, fuck. Right, come on, go. Because they obviously got a bit confused to start with until Leaf was like, oh, right, okay, hold on. These guys are friends. It's okay. And then
Who's
he
your
was like, what should we
friends?
do? And he was like,
Not food.
literally, for your friends. I do love that he's just like, right. And he's like, where do we go? And he's like, they're in charge. You're not going to fall off. It's fine.
Let the horses go.
Also, what
They
do we
probably
think?
only got as far in as they did as well because they were on Sandseed horses.
Yeah. What do we think about Ulrich stealing Moonlight, the supposed horse for Commander Ambrose, and stealing
I
him in the middle of the night?
Two things. One, Ulrich doesn't deserve a Sandseed horse for a start.
Nope.
Even regular Ulrich, but there's no way they could have done that journey with a regular horse.
No.
But also, I do not agree with Sandseed horses being taken away from Citya. They need to stay by their
Natural
lands. Like take
environment.
them away from the plains. But like, at least if
Why?
they're in Citya, they're near the plains. Like, don't send one of those horses up into Ixia. What are they got? How are they going to like be near their magic?
Only,
That just seems
yeah. Only if it's
ridiculous.
like Yelena going to come back again and then they get to run. Like never to actually go and stay.
It's like the commander can come down and have a run around in the plains with it every once in a while. It can be his horse when he's here. That's it.
I just love like I'm not the biggest person that loves Ulrich. I'm kind of with Vicky. But I do
Well,
love that
they
when they take Moonlight back and he's like, I will even come and feed and like trot him out and everything until you find somebody else. Like I will look after him and then walks off. And I'm like, we've seen that stable master like yell at people. Yeah, Ulrich's just like blah 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 blah, and then walks off. And I'm like, bitch, your mom's giving you like
just like
didn't hit you
beat
enough.
you. Is so do the Sandseed horses? Is it like a rider bond they have? Like, do they only
No, they'll
bond to
ride
like
for
one
anyone.
rider?
I think they're just they like to be a bit pernicky and bitchy. I think they're picky, but they will ride for people who can deal.
So then
But
why
I'm
is it like
really
we're saving
curious.
it for the like?
I don't know. I'm really curious. I wish we had a little bit of Yelena's POV so we knew what they called Opal because I can't remember. It's probably going to be something stupid like heat or glass or some shit.
Sand lady.
I wonder if I don't think there's
Maybe
a
yeah. What
list
did
of them online.
does Kiki not meet Opal at any point during the?
She'll have met him, but I can't think if it was called out.
I can't remember if she meets her. Like she must meet her because Yelena goes to rescue her.
I don't know if it is on Maria's website.
Who's the? But yeah, I'm actually quite upset about the. I was going to say the triplets. You know what I mean? The three glassmakers as well being killed. Like what? Why? That seems unnecessary. Do you know what? Actually, and I think this was. I can't remember when the Hunger Games was written, but here's why. But you know the caves that they stay in while the storms are going.
Yeah.
It reminded me so much of the bunkers that they use in District 13. Spoilers for Hunger Games. Um, it reminded me so much of the bunkers.
Yeah. That's not there. It might be in the front of the Chronicles. I'll look when I go downstairs. Do you know what else I noticed in this read through of this book? There's a character named after Rodney, and I never noticed it the first time that I read it because I didn't know her husband was Rodney. But it's Rodknee in this, and it's spelt Rodney, but with like your kneecap. And I
Mhm.
instantly burst out laughing, like full on had hysterical giggling. It's only like literally a passing character, like a Captain Rodney or something when they're going up north, I think it was. Um,
Yeah.
and it literally had me in hysterics because she spelt it with a knee. like an
Mhm.
actual knee.
Advanced. Which is why I was saying Kate's name wrong.
Yeah, I
Things like
know.
that.
I
Also,
mean,
the fact that they
she's
take the horses in the caves and it's like their heads are brushing the thing, and the horses are like, "This is fine."
it's fine. Everything's fine. Um, I still love Rosalka though. Leaf's horses. Why can I not find Rodney's name? I'm never going to be able to find it again, am I?
Probably not. I do feel kind of bad for uh the family, because like the family business is glassmaking, and all the family are bugging off. Like Opal and Mara are away to the keep, so it's just the mum, dad, and the brother. And the mum doesn't really do. She doesn't seem to actually work in the glass house.
Yeah, I don't know. Um, I was looking for something other than Rodney's name, and I can't remember what I was looking for. What do we think about Ulrich's sister? Is it Gressa? Yeah, Gressa being involved with the fake diamonds.
I don't think she really knows what she's got herself into.
Okay. I can't remember. I feel like I keep saying this, but I'm not leading you into one way or another.
Yeah, because the thing was, like, at first we thought that she betrayed. Well, I don't know if she's betrayed Ulrich. I don't know if she's been captured with him. Like, she might be in as much danger as he is. Like, again, we don't know if he has gone willingly or if he is in danger. Like,
Yeah,
he might be in some kind of like what Tula was it? Like with Tula, how she was in like a coma style thing,
yeah,
like trapped in her own body. Like if he is not a willing participant and his body is being worn like a suit and he is trapped in Devlin's body just in a coma and his sister is like trapped as well somewhere, like locked up somewhere. We don't know the scenario that they are in. It's probably going to end up. I don't know. I really don't know at this stage. I couldn't predict it. Like I say, Vicky's saying, he could end up a villain. He could end up like a bitter villain. The whole family. Well, I don't know because their mum seems very much like she has quite a strong moral compass.
yeah. I don't think she's evil or anything. I think she just wanted the money and got herself into a stupid situation. Ulrich, however, I think he knows what he's into and is out for the power. I think something along that lines.
I don't think Ulrich's that smart.
No, I don't think he's that smart, but I think he has heard the words "you can have power" and he wants power. It's the same as Tal.
Yeah, if anything, he is going to have been radicalized.
Yeah,
If he's turned, he will have been radicalized. He will have seen it as a like you've been treated badly your whole life. You've been second best. Here's a chance to be number one for once. Here's a chance to have power that you've never had. Here's a chance to actually have magic that's worthy
yeah.
of
Not just some
XYZ. Like,
class X, whatever.
yeah. Like, I don't know. But at the same time, like I say, when he met her at the keep and everything like that, he seems like a kind person. So I
Yeah,
don't know whether or not he would fall for something like that or if he would resist it. You
literally just
just,
trying to find.
I don't know. Because like the typical thing would be for him to be villainized, but Maria doesn't always go for the typical plot point.
Yeah.
Because look at the
Um.
commander. The commander should be your typical book villain. and she subverts that beautifully by having him have this black and white thinking that actually makes sense. You know, the commander should be the big bad, and the commander isn't.
Yeah.
But then will Ulrich then be the kind of villain that will sacrifice himself in the end because he sees,
Like
you know,
Rand
like the
did.
Darth Vader style character? Like, will he take the Darth Vader path? Will he
Yeah.
be turned to the dark side and then in the end sacrifice himself for the greater good because he realizes in the end that what he's done is actually wrong and he wants to make amends? You know.
I just looked up what happened on the last page because I was like, I can't remember how we ended this. And I couldn't remember based on your question about sea glass where we were going. So I was like, I'm going to double check quickly the very last bit. And I mean, it literally ends with her and Cade talking, and Cade saying, "There's this little beautiful there is this little beautiful. Oh my God, there is this beautiful little cove along Bloodgood's coast. So maybe we're going there. It's also on the coast."
I just really want to see.
So what do you want to happen, you and Vicky? Oh, hold on. Possibly. I don't think he would ever intentionally hurt Opal, and will maybe realize in the end that now his powers changed him or something along those lines. So,
Yeah.
what do you both think will happen, either in Sea Glass or in Spyglass? I'm assuming mostly C, but it could be long-term thoughts.
See, sea glass, I think maybe we'll go. So I think we're going into a plot with something to do with the diamonds. The diamonds have been introduced. I think we're going somewhere there. Sorry, my machine is on the spin. And somebody
I can't hear it.
opened the
The door.
door
Of course he did.
and walked away from it.
Of course he did. Don't glare at my
Um.
nephew like that.
So sea glass. So the looking at the map, because we're saying sea glass and we're talking diamonds, I think we might be going to the Jill Rose clan next. Again, I know nothing. I don't even know the synopsis in the next book.
And I haven't read it in about
So
13 years.
the Jill Rose clan are the one with that diamond shaped pond, isn't it?
Yes?
Are they the one, or maybe the Crystal clan? What did the Crystal clan even do?
Well, we walk
I
through them every time we go to MD7.
Mm. Are the Jill Rose clans the ones that make jewels or mine jewels?
It's where Iris is from.
But they're the ones where they went to free the people, the children and stuff in the barn, and we thought that Valak had died. Was that Jill Rose?
Yes? Yes. Yeah, I can't hear it either. Yes.
But yeah, so I think maybe we're going to the Jill Rose clan and um to find out what's happening with the diamonds because the Jill Rose clan, if they're the ones that mine actual diamonds, there'll be something going on there.
Yeah.
Um, be interesting to see. See, I want to see what's in the Emerald. I would be interested to see what's like the Emerald Mountains and the Soul Mountain. Like the what's going on over here? What's going on over here? The Cloud Mist clan sounds interesting.
It's where Pazia is from. Pazia's Cloud Mist. Pazia. The one who attacked them with the bees.
Oh. Wait,
Pazia's
what does
Cloud
her
Mist.
dad do again?
Owns the mines that's over
The
there
mate.
for rubies.
All right, so they do jewels as well.
They
See?
do rubies. Specifically
Okay.
rubies.
Oh yeah, Diamond Lake, there it is. So yeah, so maybe we're going down the jewels clan and maybe like in this like the sea Jade Sea area here. Maybe we'll need like I would like for Cade to come along. Maybe it's in the off season where there's no storms, so he's got like some time off, and he comes with. Maybe they've got some unseasonable storms that he needs to help them with, or maybe he just comes along for the ride because he wants to be with Opal or something. I don't know. And Seaglass. I don't know. I don't know. It gives me nothing.
I also think we're
Yeah,
gonna go try.
rescue
Oh
and
wait.
like.
Oh shit. Hold on. I've done second one first, but it doesn't matter. Find it. Devlin was telling the truth about him, and there's gonna be a plot around that. I think it'll be following these diamonds. I think we might have to be in Ixia a bit more, as that's where the diamonds are being mined. Excited to see what Opal discovers about her magic.
This is true. This is true. Spyglass, however, I think they're going to find they can use her animals to listen in on conversations
Ooh, interesting.
because they can already use them to communicate. And the spy part of it makes me think that maybe they can use them as little listening devices.
That would be cool. I can't remember. I genuinely don't know how many times I need to say it. Like, I feel like Smash did such an amazing job of being like a blank face like host, and I'm just
Mm-hmm.
genuinely sitting here like I can't remember a thing. In terms of live shows, I'm with Maria from the 2nd to the 10th. So it will be after that once Mrs. over here has a freak out and tries to reach it, because I totally forgot about the fact that 10 days of my reading would probably be really stunted. I had a minor panic about that earlier when I looked at how long the Massillon book is, because it's like 700 pages. Thankfully, these are pretty quick. I read it all in a day, so I'm hoping it will be fine. We're hoping. But Andy and I will fix a date once we figured it out. Probably be somewhere about the 16th, I'd assume, that week, which is slightly later, but otherwise I'm trying to do it after I'm back from like the end of the week. So we
Yeah.
will figure it out. We will let you know as soon as we know. And I will have it scheduled as soon as possible. Do you have anything else you would like to say? Any other thoughts? Anything about the next live shows? Anything about Ari and Janko? We saw Yelena a bit in this, but
Mm-hmm.
we didn't see Phallic?
No, we
No.
did not. There was
So I
mention of him.
wonder what he's up to. I genuinely
Did
don't
we
know
see
because
Ma
Marin.
Marin?
No, not in this one, just Ari and
See if
Janko.
Marin had been, see if Marin had been with them up north, we would not have had the issues we had.
No, we would not.
Honestly, why he lets Ari and Janko go alone, or why he lets Janko go alone, I don't know. If Ari had been there, it would not have.
I
Do
love
you
it.
notice how the problems were solved once Ari got there? Why did he
I
let Janko
for
go alone? Honest to goodness.
I forever love the whole like Ari being the bad guy and Janko being the good guy in a different uniform thing to try and like come at it from two sides, but it never works like they think they're gonna.
And I guarantee I know who was the one that suggested it.
Does his name begin with a J
Chaos
for
bisexual.
Jester? Yep. 100%. 100%. Vicky, my love, do you have any further comments that you would like to make before we end this show?
I don't know how he can do that to his husband.
Can't even remember how long the lag is, so I don't know how long I've got to wait. I'm hoping she'll give me some form of comment so I don't just sit here staring.
I don't know if there's anything we missed.
Spoken about the sister. We've spoken about both
See
Opal
Yelena!
sisters,
Oh my
Lisa's.
god! The snapback when Yelena saw the orb, she was like, why is there a person in there? Tell me you see her. And he's like, I don't see
See
her, but
her,
I'm
but I
pretty sure
can.
she's in there. Just like,
I love it.
whoa.
I love it so much. Also, this is a final comment. I don't have Smash's fancy thing with the hearts, but you can have a heart. I love you too. But on that, because we've both been yawning, unless you have anything last minute to say, we'll just say thank you to Vicky for sitting here. I should probably take notes next time.
I was just thinking about it.
I wish we had like this floppy books in like Scotland. Like Braindead?
Also, wasn't it Kate that rescued her when she got cornered by Devlin?
Yes.
And she was like, "Were you following me?" He's like, "No, but I saw you needed help, so even
And
at
you
that
didn't come
point."
back to where we were meant to meet, so we split up. We were finding you.
I love Cade. I love Cade.
Honestly, can't remember how any of it goes, so this will be interesting. We will keep you up to date on the Discord and the Twitter. And I think that's us. I don't have anything else to say. Andy looked like she had to rack her brain.
I'm running through the plot in my head.
Tal. Yes, Tal sucked.
Yeah, I still reckon they should have, like, I would not have just been like, go home.
Yeah,
I
absolutely not.
was like, no,
And
you
then
need
there
to.
was obviously like Tricky and all of that other, like the actual glassmakers that she fought, but we mentioned them fighting and her putting the wooden building on fire.
Again, like, she just so smart. Like, every time I was like, I wasn't even mad at her for giving in and doing, like, like, giving up the recipe or giving up and helping them, like, for survival. I wasn't even mad at her for doing that. I was like, I get it. Like, you're scared, you need to survive. Like, you're young. Like, I get, I not once did I blame her for giving up and giving in to their demands. To then later on find out that she lied, I was like, babe, awful.
I love her. She's one of my favorite female protagonists of Maria's.
Like, she's playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers.
I
It's like
love
you're being
her.
tortured and you're still 6 steps ahead of them.
That's because they're stupid.
Yeah. She's like, I've been through so much worse than you can imagine. So,
Bye.
what do you want? Right, where are we? Yeah, I think we covered it from memory. Also, her mum, so funny. Trying to feed everybody.
You will not be leaving my house without a warm breakfast. Best statement.
Like, Mum, this is a master magician. Stop telling her what to do.
I love that it's literally like, sit down, you won't win this battle to do anything. And then her mum's like, okay. No, the master magician's like sitting there like feeling all lovey. And she's like, don't worry, next time you just be a member of the family. And she's like, I'd really like that. And you can just tell that she doesn't have parents. She's an orphan. She's like lost her sister.
Yeah. What is what? What like? What's going on there? Like, is that a throwaway or is that like what's going on there? Where's Satoria from?
Cowan clan. Same as so the very bottom one. Same as
Which
Opal.
is next to the Jill Rose clan.
So the masters are literally from Iris is here, Bane is Bloodgood, and she's Cowan.
Featherstone's near there as well, isn't it?
No, it's up here. It's where the citadel is. Dax, the
Sorry.
Professor Greenblade. Did you see them having the classes with Professor Greenblade? That's Dax from the first book. That's a friend of Yelena's because he's
I was
graduated now.
so sad about Gelsey.
Don't.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think we've covered everything that I can think of. I can't remember how this ended. Like, where did we end? Where did we even end?
Literally with Cade telling her that they were going to that cave in Bloodgood.
And I think Sir and Tricky and all that, they're going to keep going after the orbs, or did they all die?
No, they're not all dead. I don't think.
No, yeah.
Come and say hi.
Yeah, they're going to the Bloodgood Coast then.
Yeah.
Mm.
Did you hear her?
Yeah. She's like, shut up. Stop talking. Yeah. I'm excited. I want to see them spend our time together. But obviously we're going to get hijinks. So there's so much that can happen. I can't believe how much she managed to pack into that without it feeling like a slog.
Yeah, I think you've
That's
got
impressive.
a slightly bigger book than me just because
Mine
of.
was 500 and something pages because it's a mass market paperback size. 504 pages.
Mine's 488. So there's only 16 pages of a difference.
But what I mean is like there's so much plot in here, but it didn't feel like a slog.
No, I think it
Like it
helped
was
that she didn't
constant.
have to set up the world.
Yeah. But at the same time, we went to places that we hadn't been before.
Yeah. He did.
And she didn't use the magic system, really, because the characters
No.
didn't have magic.
No. Almost none of them used the magic the same way Jelena did.
No. Or even like Iris or
I think it's so
also
cool to see.
Zatoria being a little shit. Like when they get captured and she's like, and they're like, oh, they sent out first tiers. And she's like, don't hurt us. And then she's like, try me.
You totally would though if you were like 25 in that like that level. Totally would be that cocky.
Yeah.
I can see you having been friends with Zatora. Right.
Oh,
On that
just
note.
like,
Oh,
sorry.
are you done?
Yeah, I'm just saying she's so funny.
Oh, I'm really glad you're enjoying it though. I hope you enjoy the next
So
two as
glad
we
Rose is
continue.
gone. Yeah.
I'm excited to continue.
Yes. Next up, Sea Glass.
Yeah. I think my
I'm
sea
always
glass one
sad
is
to go
bright
back
blue.
to the study ones after this.
But will you really be?
It's like I've only read one book of three and I already don't want to leave Opal.
Considering fantasy isn't your main jam, I'm proud of you for this.
Yeah, I just really like the characters. I do wish though, the one thing I miss is being able to talk to the horses.
I knew that was coming.
But
I
she
feel that.
still kind of gets like a vibe from the horses.
Yeah. That's because the horses are clever.
Yeah.
Right. My microphone is playing up and darling in my ear, so I'm going to end it here before my mic starts having tech issues. And we will see you next month for Sea Glass. Bye.